Hey, y'all doing? Thanks for joining me again. Getting back to the story, like I said, we're back like in the first quarter of 2023. Um, we're rocking with the getting the cafe going, pushing through with that. Retail was another beast. Like I said, we just opened the store, so everything was starting at the same time. We had these multiple facets of an organization or an operation rather, and it was all just starting at the same time. And like I said, this is where it ramps up. Now we had inventory starting to come in, product, not just from like model kits, but like paint and accessories and stuff. And the paint was crazy because like each rack had like up to 230 to 260 colors, and we had multiple racks in the store. And he already expressed that once he got the store going, he wanted an online store as well. And if you have an online store, that means you have to put everything in exact in the computer system, because the computer system populates from what you, or the internet system populates from what the computer has. And like I understood that. I'm an organizational super freak. I've been in this position so many times before. I could handle that easy. And it was difficult because of like the paints and stuff. It wasn't just regular names. When you had 260 colors, you have some inventive names, and especially when you get to like the World War historical time frames, like the historical people, they're very adamant about their paint colors. Like if you can't just paint whatever models you want and think you're gonna roll up on them. They will freaking clown you and stuff for not having like Japanese World War II style khaki on a freaking tank that should have it. Like a Japanese tank in that era. Like I mean, it breaks it down. If you ever want to look up Vallejo paints, the game color and model color. Look at the names of these things. But again, that's what I had to do. I had to get on the computer. I had to plug it in. This is when I had to build the system. And what I came up with, I was trying to keep stuff simple. So I came up like, let's say if it was Vallejo, you would get Vallejo paint. You would get a model color, so you knew what rack it came on, and then you would have the color. That was and the number. Those four. I always try to keep four things to break down because each paint has a multi-digit number, like 70.235 or something like that. So I had those four markers on there, and with like the model kits, I would have like the company that makes it, like if it was Warhammer, I had Warhammer. Then I would have Warhammer 40K, so you knew it was Warhammer 40K or Age of Sigmar. Then would have like the Army, like those Space Marines, and they would break down to like what is it, Redemptor Dreadnought? What exactly kit is it? Because like I said, I wanted four markers because it also gave people multiple ways to look for it. If they're just looking for Space Marine stuff, they can plug in Space Marine, pull it all up. If they're just looking for Orc stuff, they can put Orc, put it all up. If they're looking for a specific kit, put that name in. But it's got to be exact, because you couldn't play games with this stuff because there was so many pieces of it. And then, like I said, it was a little bit frustrating, but not frustrating. Well, I mean, frustrating a little. I mean, it was pretty simple at first. It was tedious, though. It's incredibly tedious because it was just punching thing. And the thing was, we ordered all the paints at once, but we didn't always get them all in. And sometimes it took a long time to get certain racks in. So it wasn't all done right at first. I did as much as I could. I worked with what I could, with what I had at the time, and had to keep as the time went on, just adding as we went, as we were able to get a hold of it. Because it was also, I had to build relationships with different businesses, different people who would sell us product, because I couldn't just have one supplier of Army Painter because they would run out all the time. I would keep having to look around for people who sold Army Painter products wholesale so we could get it from them and sell it at our store, because I couldn't get it from like Walmart or something. Well, Walmart didn't sell it, but I couldn't get it from a store locally. Actually, none of them did sell it, but even if they did, I would have to pay their price and I had to mark up above it. It didn't work on certain things, So it's good to get build these relationships so you can get that 30 to 40% discount and then make your money with those margins. But again, it was little things like that. It was also the time when I talked to the owner about buying some magic, because we had this cracker pack and it looked sad because there was nothing in it. And I looked on eBay and he didn't have any money because he spent it all buying all the other stock, because he had to do big stock buy in the beginning. And I saw that, so I was like, I found these great deals where we could buy these boxes for half of what we could sell them. Like if we crack them open and sell them as individual packs, we could sell them for 50% more. So basically, all the boxes cost $2,200 for me to buy, and if we cracked them all open, put them in the cracker pack, and sold them all, it would have made $4,400. So I mean, that was a great deal. 50%. It's more than we make in most Magic products, and we sold almost all of them. We sold 7 of the 8 boxes by the end of it. But that's when I talked to the owner about that, and I'll give it to him. He was hesitant at first. He didn't want to, because I know he didn't want me to put that money into it. But also, it's like, to me, if I'm bought in, it's not a big buy-in, but it's showing you that I really care about this, because it's $2,200 is a lot of money for me. It's not change. I'm not a rich person. I lived below the poverty line my whole life. But it was showing my little bit that, I want to put skin in the game because I care about this stuff. And he accepted. And honestly, I never cared that I got the money back. I didn't get the money back, even though he made more than $2,200 back. So he should have, by all rights, paid me, because he did agree on it. He was hesitant at first, but he did agree. But again, I don't care. It's more the fact that he didn't care. It's shitty. It's like he should have done better to take care of me, but I just didn't matter enough. I never did. I'm learning that now. And like I said, it was just little pieces of the puzzle here and there that just kept stacking and stacking, but I didn't see it then because I was too close. Everything was happening right then. So that was the frustration that I had. So it's like now we're running with the cafe we're building up. We're had the lodge that was ramping up again, and with that, my game plan, like I don't know if I said earlier, but it was just to get butts in the seats. So I used Discord, because we created a Discord for our store. And in that Discord channel, as I learned how to use it, I learned that we can just make channels for different games and let people who want to talk on those games go into those channels. So that was my goal. It's like, just fill those up with different game systems and get people in here to play them. Because if they came in here to play them, they would be here. And 2, they would buy things and they would eat. And it worked really well. By the time I left, we had like near 30 channels. We would have had over 40, probably closer to 50. But it was, I'll tell about later, it was an incident where he killed like 10 to 15 channels for a ridiculous reason. But again, it's just showing that his business practices didn't make sense compared to what he was holding me up against, the perfection. But as for like where we were at, like I said, we had the lodge building up, we had the cafe building up, we had retail ramping up, and then now it was on to try to help the magic room. And that was done by mainly, this, and again, this is what kind of shifted, because he started out saying that, you handle the whole hobby shop and stuff, I'm just going to handle the studio. But that was never really true when it concerned the card room. From day one through the entire time I worked there, he always was stirring the pot of the card room. And it's like, I didn't know how to handle that, because, I told him I'd take over multiple times at the beginning. And he's like, no, I got it. I'll handle this. Because his thing was, he wanted to become the Magic Commander store. He thought basically he was going to build such a great store that every person in the area was going to be like, screw our store, we're just coming to this store, that's it. He never banked on their loyalty, because he doesn't have loyalty. He's loyalty to himself, that's it. He'll go anywhere that serves him. So he thought that basically if he built this badass store, everybody would just screw everyone else and come to his store. So every Friday night, he would have a Magic tournament with trophies and stuff like that, and it worked some nights and it was good, but it would never be something that killed every other store, and he couldn't handle that. That was part of the stressors they put on me. But again, I'll fill that in on a later on story. I'm going to cut off here for this time and continue on in a little bit. Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it. I know it's important, and I appreciate it you give me. Have a great day.